How many ounces in a gallon of water? Saida 2003. How many ounces in an imperial quart? To find out that how many ounces in an imperial quart, read below. An imperial quart could be a unit of volume within the imperial framework. The imperial quart can be measured by imperial QT. There are 0.025 imperial quarts in an imperial liquid ounce. https://images.app.goo.gl/vhrfugjawip62y7na.5 UK quarts to fluid ounce, increase, 1.5, by 40. That creates 1. Gallons to ounces to liter conversion in US and imperial systems. Gallons ounces liters UK Gallon ounces liters 1128 3.785 1164.56 2256 7.571 2329.092 3384 11.356 3480 13.638 4512 15.142 4640 18.184 5640 18.927 5822.73768 22.712 6960 27.277 7896 26.4987 11 2031.8238 10 2430.2838 1280 10.9159 1152 34.0699 1440 45.461 10 1280 37.854 10 1650.007 11 14 08 41.64 11 17 60 54.553 12 15 36 45.425 12 19 20 59.099 13 16 64 49.21 13 20 20 63.645 14 17 92 52.996 14 2240 65.25 15 19 20 56.781 15 2400 69.32 Taha. The answer to your question of how many ounces, Oz, there are in a gallon of water depends on where in the world you are. You see, the US liquid gallon measures less, 3.785 liters, than the UK imperial gallon, 4.546 liters. You should probably bear this in mind when thinking about daily water intake because there's a big difference between the two. You could be drinking 3/4 of a liter more water if you use the UK imperial gallon conversion. History of gallons. The gallon originated as the base of systems for measuring wine and beer in England. The sizes of gallon used in these, two, systems were different from each other. The first was based on the wine gallon, equal in size to the US gallon, and the second one either the ale gallon or the larger imperial gallon. In 1824, Britain adopted a close approximation to the ale gallon known as the imperial gallon. The imperial gallon is based on the volume of 10 pounds of distilled water weighed in air with the barometer standing at 30 inches and at a temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit, and in 1963 this definition was refined as the space occupied by 10 pounds of distilled water of density 0.99885 grams per milliliter weight in air of density 0.001217 grams per milliliter against weights of density 8.136 grams per milliliter. This works out at 277.41945 cubic inches. By the end of the 18th century, there were 3 definitions of the gallon in common use: the corn gallon, or Winchester gallon, of about 268.8 cubic inches, approximately equals 4.405 L; the wine gallon, or Queen Anne's gallon, which was 231 cubic inches, approximately equals 3.785 L; the ale gallon of 282 cubic inches, approximately equals 4.622 L. The United States by this time had already standardized on a close approximation to the old wine gallon. It was at 1 time defined as the volume of a cylinder 6 inches long and 7 inches in diameter, or 230.907 cubic inches. Today, however, the gallon is 231 cu. Ins exactly. Thus 10 US gallons equals 8.327 imperial gallons. The imperial gallon is about a fifth larger than the US gallon. Both the Imperial and United States gallon are equal to 8 pints. However, in the US a pint is 16 fluid ounces whereas an Imperial pint is 20 fluid ounces. Thus a US gallon is 128 fluid ounces and an Imperial gallon is 160 fluid ounces. This means that a US fluid ounce is around 1.8047 cu. Ins and an Imperial fluid ounce is around types of gallons. So finally we have 1 Imperial gallon equals 4.54609 liters. Exactly, equals 8 Imperial pints approximately equals 1.20 U wet gallons approximately equals 1.03 U. S dry gallons equals 10 pounds of pure water at 17 degrees Celsius 1 U. S wet gallon equals 231 cubic inches equals 3 in times 7 in times 11 in. This is the gallon commonly used in the US. Equals 128 U. S fluid ounce equals 8 U. S wet pints equals 1/42 of a U. S oil barrel equals 3.7854111784 liters. Exactly, approximately equals 0.83 Imperial gallons approximately equals 0.86 U. S dry gallons approximately equals 8.33 pounds of pure water at room temperature 1 U. S dry gallon equals 268.8025 cubic inches. Occasionally used in the US. Equals 8 U. S dry pints equals 1/8 of a U. S wet gallons how many water bottles in a gallon? S Sarah_Tofik how many ounces in a gallon of water? What is a gallon? The United States liquid gallon is a unit of fluid volume which is equal to 4 quarters, 8 pints, or 16 cups. The US water gallon should not be confused with the US dry gallon or the Imperial gallon, which are 2 different units of measure. The gallon is a US customary unit, which is commonly used in the US of volume. Gallons can be written as short or abbreviated as gal. For example, 1 gallon can be written as 1 gallon. What is the ounce? A liquid ounce is a unit of volume regularly utilized for estimating and measuring fluids. Different definitions have been used since forever, however, just 2 are still in manner use. We actually have an issue. A royal gallon contains 8 royal pints, every one, of 20 supreme liquid ounces. Accordingly, there are 160 majestic liquid ounces in a royal gallon. How many ounces in a gallon of water? You ought to presumably shoulder this at the top of the priority list when contemplating everyday water admission on the grounds that there's a major distinction between the two. The US liquid ounce estimates 29.5735 milliliters. By correlation, the UK majestic liquid ounce estimates 28.4131 milliliters. For changing a particular number of gallons over to ounces. Since there are 8 liquid ounces in a cup, you should drink 8 cups of water each day. Notwithstanding, many accept that strong edges for well-being can be gotten by expanding their water admission to a full gallon, 3.8 liters, every day. This article investigates the overall suggestions of water utilization and, accordingly, the potential advantages and results of drinking a gallon of water for every day. Maybe shockingly, with respect to the hour of your body is water. 1. Drinking enough water assumes a critical part of keeping your body